All right, let's hope we have all mics. Yeah, we do. All right. Day 4. I don't think we've done Promenade. Ravel piano concerto. Bruckner 7 first. Bruckner 7 fourth. Lincoln Portrait. Gerswhin. Nope. Gerswhin piano concerto. What is that? 6. Bartok game of pairs. 7. We'll do Heldenleben off stage. All right. Let's find the Promenade. Mahler, Mizorgsky. All right, so pictures is 86 times 0.6, 52 beats per minute, working our way up. 52. And then we're gonna jump to quarter notes. I kind of liked doing that yesterday, where instead of having all the subdivisions laid out for me, instead to do so there's a little bit of time in between. All right, we're gonna warm up just a little bit, and then we'll get started. All right, first excerpt is Promenade. Here we go. First time. That felt absolutely horrible. I'm gonna stop halfway through, take a little break, do it again. the measure before 2, getting a quick breath. I don't do it. I know some people who do. I think you just have to end the E flat. I'll try to do it. Like I said, I think it's still pretty horrible right now, which is great because I still got to get this done. But you have to end the E flat in a way that allows for direction through it. So something like this. I personally don't do that. I just think the line works nicer to blow through that, but it's definitely possible. I think I've heard live performances where Chris Martin does that and it sounds really nice. I think I've heard live performances of Bud on YouTube where he does it and it sounds real nice. So, all right, well, that felt horrible, but I got to keep going because I did my 2. My intonation felt kind of whack all over the place on that, but let's just assume it's going to be fine. Okay, Ravel Piano Concerto is 116 times 0.6, 70 beats per minute. Da da dum ding da dum 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 dum. Okay, slowly but surely making up for it here. Gotta go back up to the top and get some Bruckner 7. Yeah, it just does not feel good right now. Fortunately, it's just me and you, Brandon. You're the only one that's gonna get to hear me sound not that great. Or at least, you know, everybody has bad days, obviously, and I still feel like I can sound pretty good, but it doesn't feel great. And on these days, I still got to make it work. I still got to make it happen. So I'm focusing on good, healthy, fundamental, like production. Doing my best to focus on that while I do this. So 36. Here we go. How are you doing today, man? What are you up to? Oh. Oops, that was too slow. Ah, it doesn't matter. Just played this morning feeling the horn. Just raked a bunch of leaves. I feel like that's exactly what you said last time I asked you how your day was. It sounds like you got a pretty sweet situation going on. Yo, Brendan, thanks, man. I thought it would help clear up some confusion about stuff and also understand like kind of what we're trying to accomplish when doing the programming and stuff like that. So, um, I hope it helped clear up some stuff, and I hope it helped make sense too of how like teachers and students can use it concurrently, and that it's not like trying to say you don't need a teacher, rather it can help enhance that. So yeah, hopefully it accomplished that. Yeah, yeah, when you only have that much time, it's hard. You're basically like in a peaking phase the whole time. You know, you don't have that bulk of like 4 to 6 week of just slow percentage work. It's really hard to figure out how to get that all in there while getting up to the faster percentages so you feel comfortable. Yeah. Yeah, dude, I totally, yeah, when it's just the more time you have, the slower you can go. I'm not planning on playing it on a piston. I just don't own a rotary. So I'm waiting for that to come in like a little over a month, and then I'll start practicing on that. Yeah, I just don't have money for a rotary. Uh, my undergrad, my undergrad has a Schagel, but the lighter version, I think, not the Horsdorf Heavy. I think it's like the Vienna model, I think. And so I think he's going to be able to send me that. My undergrad teacher. I'm used to 2-day lists. This is the first 3-day list I've ever. What do you mean by 3-day list? Like it takes you 3 days to get through it, or? Oh, what's next? Oh, good. Lincoln Portrait. Super. Super duper. I think I decided I'm going to roll with the Bach mute. Yeah, these Chicago lists are just insane. It's just insane. The Kansas City. I think I was saying yesterday the Kansas City audition that I looked at is it's like half. It's like literally half the size of the list, and it still is like a big list. Yeah, yeah. Well, hopefully you find out sooner next time for whatever the audition is. Unless this one works out, then baller. But if you have to take another audition at some point, hopefully you just have more time and you can front, like you said, front load the more 50 to 65% repetitions. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're just trying to scare people off, you know. Maybe they have such a big list because it's a cattle call, so they're trying to scare people off with how big the list is, and they're just expecting people who have played most of this rep to show up. But it is a lot to prepare, which is why I'm just having to be like 2 times per week. Let's just call it and see what happens. What are we at here? Lincoln Portrait, 80. 80 times 0.6 is 48. Yeah. I mean, when I took the last Chicago principal audition, it was like I think there were 33 people total who took the audition, who came to the first round. I'm really, really happy more people showed up so you could all hear me have a really, or at least feel pretty horrible on the trumpet today. I think we'll have one 9 service week this year. Usually we're between like 5 and 7. A Master Works will be like 6 or 7. Yeah, I kind of have the time to put this together actually. Dang, dude. That's why you get paid the big bucks, huh? Yeah, we don't have anything quite like that. We'll see, man. Doing my best. Doing my best. I love this excerpt, but it is brutal also to play at a very slow tempo. Yeah, yesterday's session went really well. Um, Maybe I just played too many high C's and my face is a little feeling it today, you know? But I don't know if it's the same for you. I'd be curious. I mean, on the bass, like, do you get like fatigue in that way? I mean, I have face fatigue and things work, but I have to really focus on making them work. What is it like for you when you've played for like hours a day and then you come back the next day? Is it like muscular fatigue or your fingers tired? How does that work? Come on. Fatigue, it is this bad day today. We can do 6 hours and move another fine, but I feel fresher if I'm playing to the 3. So I scale it back in the last week 4 auditions. And yeah, so I'm trying to do that. I'm gonna run 3 lists at 70, 3 lists at 80, and then 2 lists at 90, and then the last week before the audition, 1 or 2 lists a day at 95, which will be significantly less on my face than what I'm doing now. And I'm hoping that acts as sort of like a deload or a what other people call. I call it a deload, but people call it a taper. Jesus, that is so much playing. Gosh, I can't even. Also, just to live with your instrument for that long it's a lot. Like that's like hard on your. In my opinion, that's like hard on your brain. Yeah, agreed. Totally agreed. I think this is actually the equivalent of when guys in the gym will say, like, gotta do the work nobody else wants to do if you want to be successful. I think that's like 50% practicing. It just sucks so much. 50, 60, 70, maybe, sorry, 50, 55, 60, maybe 65. It just is not very fun, but I think it'll make it so much easier. Yeah, like you're saying, to play the real thing. But just think of how much focus you're going to have in the actual audition. Hopefully, you know, if you're able to stay focused and just really be invested in every note of every rep, I'm hoping for me and for like the people that try this and for you that makes a big difference. Yeah. I'm only going to do this one time because both excerpts basically do the same thing. Okay, what do we got here? 62 times 0.6. Gosh, it's like anything 70 and below, I just know is gonna hurt. Here we go. I'll stop halfway. I'll stop after the first excerpt. I've never prepped like this. This is like actually, I know it's like the CSO audition and it's a really big audition, but I'm mostly excited to just see what the difference is when I'm actually at the audition. Because I've played well in auditions, but never have prepped like this before. Yeah, pretty true. I don't think there's any truer statement. Yeah, pretty easy to zone in for that long. And so my plan is when I get faster is to make sure that I can play with good time without the metronome is I'm going to set the metronome to a lot wider beat. So instead of being on the quarter note, maybe I'll set it on the whole note or something so that I'm checking in with my time, you know, every 4 beats or something like that. But ultimately, I'm responsible for my time. I think that's going to be, you know, so for Petrushka, instead of I started with dun dun ding dun 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 ding. Now I'm gonna, and then when I get faster, it'll be dun dun ding dun 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 ding dun dun dun. So there's more room, wiggle room in there, and then maybe it'll be dun dun ding dun 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 ding dun 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 da 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 da, and then what the at tempo would be. So da da ding da da dun da da ding da da dun da 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 da. So I'm just checking in and seeing how's my time related to sort of the groove, so to speak. Yeah, exactly, exactly. That Victor Wooten saying, "Oh, that's." I mean, of course you've seen it because you're a bassist. I saw that like 11 years ago, and I've been looking for a way that I could try to fit that in. Yeah, that's so cool. Here's the second half of this thing. Got a nice little break there so I can make sure I had fresh chops so I could ingrain that right. Groovy, man, keep killing it. Brandon, thank you so much for stopping by, man. It's always awesome to just to talk shop with you about this kind of stuff. I appreciate you interacting. It's awesome. I love it. Bartok, Game of Pairs. Let's do it. We'll probably do this one twice. $88 times 0.6, 53. This is another example of I wouldn't necessarily use this trum core mute in the actual gig because I think it's not quite as buzzy, but I'm going to play it for the audition because it does sound muted enough to tell there's a mute in there, and it plays much easier. Pretty beat up. It's great. It's a great feeling. Hope everybody who's watching is having a good day. We are right now on week 3, day 4. Only 7 more weeks to go before the big day. I've scheduled a time to go play for Barbara Butler at the end of April, and I'm going to try to be able to get as much of that on video as possible, which would be cool. Here we go. I've said this in my article, in the article I released today, but I've said it before in the streams too. As you're getting tired, just rest. It's not really that big of a deal. Um, Ultimately, rest is how we build strength. And so I don't really care if I can get through this excerpt right now because it's at 60%. Right? What I care about is making sure I'm using 60% to build upon what I've done in 50 and 55% and just keep it going now. I've made the decisions. I've ironed all the details out. Now it's just making it happen. All right. One more excerpt. Heldenleben offstage solo. Oh, right there. How many measures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 measures to victory. 132 times 0.6, 79 beats per minute. You guys couldn't hear any of that because I forgot to change my thing, but basically we have 10 measures, so 20 measures to victory here. My face is tired, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna finish it. One more. I'm liking jumping the metronome down to a little bit bigger beat instead of going one dun 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 dun. So probably when I hit 75 or maybe 80, I'm gonna get the metronome one less, and then when I hit 95, I'm gonna try to get it over the course of a couple bars. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 1. I was kind of talking about this with Brendan just a second ago. All right, we made it. So, for those of you that may not have been here at the beginning of the practice session was not great. I felt like my pictures reps were kind of out of tune. I'll have to go back and listen to them, but kind of out of tune, and they just kind of felt hard, you know, the octave leaps and stuff. But I think I still got some good reps in. It just didn't feel right, didn't feel grooved, you know. So, you just got to keep pushing through, you know. And besides that, I also didn't freak out about it. I didn't say, "Oh no, I can't play the trumpet anymore." I just like kept going, you know. And I know that I can play pictures. It's quarter notes and eighth notes and stuff, so I know I can do it, you know. But we also have to take in fatigue into account, and we have to take into other things. And I had a great practice session and got a lot of stuff done, even though I didn't have necessarily good pictures. And that's going to happen on the audition. Maybe pictures in the audition wouldn't go well for me, and then I would have played the rest of this round great. And maybe they would have me play pictures again, or maybe they wouldn't. Maybe I would advance, maybe I wouldn't. But you have to keep going. You have to say to yourself, this can't be the end. I got to, you know, make the rest of it work. So I'm sticking to the 2 reps, even though it doesn't feel incredible. I might isolate. Today I isolated a little bit of pictures to check some intonation stuff. But beyond that, I'm just trying to stick to the 2 reps, having tons of focus, making sure that the reps are quality, because that's what we need to be able to do. I outlined that in my in the article that I released earlier today, kind of explaining some frequently asked questions and stuff like that. So I hope everybody has a good day. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be able probably to stream later at night, probably around 6:30 or 7 again. So hope everybody has a good day. We will see you tomorrow.